We are dealing with straight up pedophilia from state people who are leaders in our community in Campbell County. It's gotten to the point where board certified psychiatrist and Campbell County resident Mark Walter, MD, medical doctor, wrote this letter to our county commissioners. Here's what he said. I've been made aware of growing concern over the availability of sexually explicit reading materials in the children and teen section of the local public library. As concerns the present debate about whether these materials should be made available to children and adolescents, I have been asked to provide my professional opinion on the matter. Specifically, I've been asked if exposure to pornographic or sexually explicit material has the potential to cause psychological harm to this apparent target audience of minors. In a word, yes, and greatly so. With abundant scientific literature accumulated over the years concerning the problem of pornography addiction in adults, why would we not consider the harm of pornography exposure to the developing brain? One must also question the motives of those adults who make these attempts to prematurely sexualize children. There appears to be no decent rationale for this, and simple depravity seems an inadequate explanation for the systematic nature of these attempts to normalize the sexualization of minors. A reasonable person would rightly question whether these initiatives and the resistance of the governing board to correct the problem represents a more sinister form of social engineering. Based upon my review of some of the reading materials in question, I believe that the introduction of pornographic media into the children and adolescent sections of the library should be a call to arms, that's in italics, for the parents and reasonable adults in this community. Protecting our children is a duty. It is apparent that we cannot rely upon federal and state government to provide that protection. That duty, as it should be, falls primarily to the community. You know what? I agree 150,000%. That's one reason myself and up to 126 other people in Campbell County have been fighting tooth and nail day and night for 3 months straight to fix this issue. And if it's happening in Gillette, Wyoming, and Campbell County, let me tell you something. It's happening wherever you are in the United States of America right now. Okay? This is a social engineering issue. And I was debating about this all the way back 10 years ago. I said, if we open our arms to the sexually deviant agenda, which defines this rainbow community that's been vying for political attention for so long, it will act as a slippery slope to things like pedophilia. I said that over a decade ago, and people tried to blackball me from entertainment for saying that. I'm not saying I'm prescient. 2 + 2 = 4. If you drop something, it's going to fall. Okay? There's no stop. And if you have no objective truth, then the ideology you push will only lead to further ideological shifts. Think about it. Have you ever drunk alcohol? The first time you drank, it might have knocked you out of your brain, right? But eventually you could do a 6-pack and be okay to drive. You shouldn't drive, okay? You're a danger, but you don't feel like you did after just one beer that first time. That's the point here. We've all been there as adults. Whether or not we did the right thing is immaterial. What's material and germane to this debate is the fact that people develop tolerance based on the things they do over time. And that's no different in sexuality than it is in substance abuse. Okay? So when you push the sexual boundaries, then eventually a satiation occurs. People become satiated. They need something else to get that physical orgasmic fix they couldn't get anymore. Okay? So they have to keep pushing the boundaries. It's like any other addiction. You have got to be disciplined. Food is good for you. If you eat too much, you become morbidly obese and you die young. Water is good for you. If you drink too much too quick, you get H2O poisoning. It's a thing. Water poisoning kills people. Okay, if you drink too much water and don't go pee, you can rupture your internal organs. Anything taken out of moderation becomes toxic and dangerous. This is just basic maturity and sound judgment. We should not even be discussing whether or not it's okay to put pornography in front of children. This should not even enter into discourse because it's so obviously wrong. Does anybody debate whether it's right to rape? No, we know rape is wrong. I'm a stand-up comedian, I'm a writer, I'm a musician. This isn't something I should be talking to you about. The reason I am is God's given me the ability to, with eloquent words, swiftly convey complex thoughts in a way that everybody can understand and share. So that's what I'm doing. And here's why I'm posting this now. Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., that's going to be the 5th of October, 2021, people in Gillette, Wyoming are meeting at Campbell County Courthouse to tell the county commissioners we must hold our public library to account. Additionally, we must assure that public education isn't pushing the ball down the road sexually and enticing children with pornography, or knowingly encouraging them to engage in sexual intrusion. Wyoming actually has statutes and laws that outline penalties, including prison terms, for just this sort of behavior. It's objectively wrong. There is no debate here. Anybody who pushes this on children is either a pervert or they're trying to do something in a social engineering capacity as a means of weakening our country. The Marxists are famous for this, and it does bear all the hallmarks, Marx, there's a pun there, all the hallmarks of social Marxism. We've got to fight against this. This is just another part of the COVID-19 mask, the vaccine mandate that's caused New York to secede from the Union. Basically, California and New York, they have softly seceded from the Union through things like mask mandates in New York's case and sanctuary cities in California's case. Essentially, what's going on is through multiple points of attack. Those who want to see our country implode are using our institutions to pull the rug out from under us ideologically, financially, economically, moralistically speaking. If you really want to see how this is done, look at Yuri Bezmenov's 1984 interview, Deception Was My Job. It's by Edward G. Griffin, or G. Edward Griffin, I always mix up the G and the Edward, of the John Birch Society. If you love your country, if you want your children to grow up safe and you don't want them perverted by pornography pushed on them on your tax dime by bureaucrats who are sexual deviants and probably involved in dark spiritual activities, but even if they're not, at minimum, are using bureaucracy as a filibuster to stop good people from acting as a bulwark against their corruption. If you're against your government trying to steal the future of your country through the children, you need to go to your local county courthouse, to your local county commissioners, to your local city hall, to your local library boards, your local school district boards, your local hospital boards. You need to make your voice known. Campbell County, if you're here tomorrow, be at the county courthouse by 9 a.m. We're going to be wearing red. If you're not here tomorrow, wherever you are, whatever community you're in, you need to stand up and fight. You need to do it because nobody else is gonna.